Good morning. How is everyone? Sorry for my lapse. This week has definitely been quite a week. Really happy to be here. Hang on, I just sat down and realized I didn't do something with the wonderful computer. There we go. So if you want to say hi, say hi. I haven't abandoned anybody. So thank you for your patience. Come on in, get yourselves situated, have a seat, say hello. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga, and this is our home yoga practice live on November 13th. Let's just transform our words around that, and it's just a day, let's not make it a harbinger of doom. So I'm looking forward to today, and I hope that you are too. So this week, so sorry. I had a presentation that I had to do, and you know what I didn't really consider as much of is how much energy it would take out of me. And so I gave a presentation and a talk, and that's fine. I talk all the time, right? But this one was made me dig a little deep, and I had to. I was talking a little bit about some family matters and my grandmother, and I don't usually share a lot about my family. And after I was done, it was like an emotional release. So my grandmother, Lorraine Rachel Lonesome Martin, was the first Black person to work in the Supreme Court. So she got a job as a clerk, and that was in 1954. And so the context of what I was sharing was, in this pandemic time, as we're dealing with unprecedented times, is it really true the way that we characterize coming through unprecedented times? And is there a way that we can look at coming through these times that helps serve us in a little bit more of a positive way? And when I look back on my grandmother's life, oh my goodness, she was born in 1920. She grew up through the Depression. She went to the nation's first high school for public school for Black children and public high school for Black children. She became the first to go work in the Supreme Court. And I'm like, that's unprecedented and living like an unprecedented life, because day-to-day life is unprecedented. And maybe we can look at things today as, instead of unprecedented, just look at it as another way of saying first time. It's a first. It's just another way of looking at being first. The first time I've ever done whatever. So this is our first time coming through a pandemic. My mother was raised during the big polio era. There were quarantines. The impact on our health and our ability to walk around if you contracted polio. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I did that, and afterward, I had nothing. I had nothing. I had nothing more to give, and so I've really needed to restore a little bit. So I appreciate everybody's patience with me. And I guess I also want to share, I'm going to be sharing some information soon about our new assistants, Fizza and Jessica, and some new things that we're going to be developing. But I'm probably going to be making home yoga practice live once a week, and that the rest are going to be recorded and you're going to be able to access on our private channel on our YouTube. I'll still be doing the lives on the weekend, but rather than inundating so much live, start to peel some of that back, have you guys come for the live and then practice what you need to practice. Doesn't mean I don't love to see you. I'm not really seeing you. Though I love you seeing me. I'm feeling like a goof here a little bit. So the main story that I shared about my grandmother, and then we'll get moving here today, is I grew up in D.C. For those of you who don't know, I'm a D.C. native, and we had a country home in Spotsylvania County, Virginia. And we would stop at farm stands, and I really appreciated the first time I ever ate cherries in the front seat of the Oldsmobile on a hot day. But she totally amazed me one day when she reached into the back and pulled out of the bag, not cherries, but an onion. And she took that onion, she peeled it, and bit into it. And I am like, okay, has she gone off her rocker? And she even sprinkles salt on it and takes another bite, and she waves in my face to offer it to me. And while most things my grandmother ever introduced me to, I absolutely loved or appreciated, I still have never tried that. But the reflection that I've gotten to do has really helped me maybe look at whether I can, take a bite, out of life, out of this onion of life, as though it were an apple. We've got to taste and savor all of the flavors that are in it. We don't get to skip any part of what life has to offer us. As we say, the bitter with the sweet and whatnot. But, you've got no choice, so you may as well bite into it and savor it and taste it. Not just pinch our noses. We might cry a little bit, but there is something sweet in it, I'm sure. A lot of the people who have understood my grandmother's thing with the onion thing is that it was a Vidalia. So I guess Vidalias have a special something. Maybe one day I'm going to try it. So we're going to come into our practice today, and maybe there are aspects of our practice that we can bite into that onion as though it were an apple. So let's not run away from the things that maybe feel difficult or hard or feel a little limited or stuck. Maybe have a little twinge of a sting in the stretch. How do we continue to step forward? Maybe put a little salt on it, maybe a little sugar, but keep taking a bite and exploring the flavors and bite into our own onion as though it were an apple. All right, let's find a comfortable place of sitting. Check in with our breath. Maybe even just let go of everything I just said. Invite yourselves to arrive in yourself. What is that? Is it our title of our job, our title as a mother, a father, a brother, a sister? Think of all the titles that we wear as different hats, and if you threw them all away, who are you? If you're inviting yourself into yourself, who is wrapped inside of this skin, inside of this flesh, under these bones? Who is this breath nourishing? Spend time with you and inquire of yourself, how are you? Scan from the toes to the top of your head. How are you? Maybe we're fatigued. Maybe we're drained. Maybe we're excited, frenetic. Start to feel out different words, different feelings. Check in with your breath. What does that even mean? What's the quality of our breath? Give the breath the gift of your attention. Breathe it for you. Not in any way that anyone's telling you how to breathe. Just, Embrace some quietude and notice what's going on in the quietude. Allow your hands to come to the heart center if you like. You could let the hands just rest on the lap. But if you'd like to come to the Anjali Mudra, kind of symbolizing holding something tender against our heart. And allow just a single word of something that came to you in our reflection, in our moment of checking in, what your intention is for this moment. Who or what you're spending time with. Not to fix, not to improve, but to be with. Single Om if you like. Deep breath in. we'll commit to spending some time here together in movement, in breath, and in mind or spirit. Little less thinking, though. When we speak about the mind, a little less in that cerebral cognitive thinking, more into feeling and connecting, just letting it be. All right? Out. That's karma. Let's breathe in and lengthen. Exhale, gentle side bend. Feel the body. Notice if you're forcing anything. Inhale. How are we treating ourselves now? Exhale. You can look back at this video if you like as something to repeat in a home practice. Breathe in and lift. Or you can use it as a guide of, I could do something like that. Exhale, twisting it open, arms open wide. Spacious. Inviting. Inhale. Exhale, let's twist. Breathing in, coming back up. Exhale, hands to center, legs out in front of us. Breath in, those knees could be bent. Exhale, hinge. Soften the spine. Let the body gradually talk to you about what's going on, about what it's feeling in this shape. Feel your mind respond. Let the body respond after the mind takes note. When the mind is receiving, hey, that's a little too much, or ooh, give me a little bit more of that. Notice how the body is changing. What are you noticing in the ankles, wrists? Breath. We'll roll the spine up, feeling our perspective and our gaze rise above our heart. Hands behind us, walking those feet in. Feel solid, feel your wrists, feel the fingers, distribute your weight, lifting the hips, stopping where you're stopping. I'm not going to say how much to do anything. Start to notice. Are you straining on yourself, or are you bringing ease in how you move? Lower the hips down. What does that mean? Maybe that seems foreign. Ease in how I move. Breathe in. How easy can we be? Can we start to just embody that forward fold? Practicing it. It's going to be imperfect. Letting something droop. Letting something soften. Noticing our minds judge that. If it goes, well, wait, I don't feel like I'm doing anything. How much intensity do we need to be experiencing for us to feel like our practice has merit? Bring the right knee in, wrapping the left arm around. Breathe in, sit the chest up. Exhale, twist. Can you feel the organs? Are there any muscle sets strangling, choking? Can you soften around the base of your spine and see if that area wants to revolve? Can we invite release? Not just enduring. And release that, straightening that leg, bringing the left foot in. Maybe we step it out wide. Maybe we've got tummy we need to navigate, so you can widen the stance so that we have space for the flesh that we occupy. Breathe in, lifting the chest. Exhale, moving and twisting and breathing with kindness. Exploration. Anything that feels super tight, anything that feels twingy. Is it intolerable? Let's remember that onion. Is there something sweet right here? Can we lean into that? On a physical level, something sweet on a breath level. Is the sting or the spice intolerable? And release. Lengthen the legs, breath in, shoulders soft. Exhale, bringing it forward, bringing ourselves up, walking those feet in, or you could keep the legs straight. This may not be for everyone, so maybe walk those feet in, pressing down and lift. Feel the perspective. How much being can we do right here? What can we see? What can we smell? What can we feel? What can we share? And lower that down. I'm going to bring the legs around, changing that perspective once again. Gaze us down. Feel the palms, feel the knees, feel the spine. A few cat and cows, fluid, connecting to the spinal column, the rib cage, and how much movement these sections want to invite. And if I can move that in my physical body, what does that allow me to move? In my mental space, in my words, in my actions. And neutral space, I'll lengthen that left leg back. Notice if the weight had to shift. Do we shift our weight in order to accommodate certain movements in life? Bringing the knee in, out, up, and back. Breathe. Now maybe see if you can maintain some equilibrium in your body weight. And you start to notice, do you not like to do that? Where's the onion aspect? What are the layers in that onion? And where's the sweetness? Change direction. Is there sweetness? There has to be some sweetness. We're still alive. There's some sweetness. We're on the planet. And bring that knee down. Switch right leg. Feel that. Knee in, out, up, and back. Are we in a hurry? What are we learning in our fingers, our wrists, on a cellular level? What are we able to feel, get to know? Change direction. Freedom in the breath. There is something sweet here, something to learn, something to savor. If not, then just trade it in, turn your chips in. You don't have to be on this side of the dirt. We'll bring that right knee down, lengthen the left leg back, and twist the hip open. Ooh, this is living in this shape. Breath, flex the left toes. And close the hip, bring that knee down. Let's lengthen the right leg back, and we'll twist that hip open. Energy through that heel. What are we feeling? What's energized? What feels strong and solid? What are we experiencing? Not just the shape or what a pose is called. What are we experiencing? I'm experiencing solidity, length, stableness. I know that's not a word. Close the hip, bring that knee down, and we'll come up to standing on the knees. Hands maybe to the low back, hips forward, lifting the chest. What are we experiencing? Invite yourself here. Who are you here? Take away those hats. Take away those titles. Who is the you inside of your skin right here? How is that you expressing itself? How is your breath expressing itself? How is your breath expressing its greatest expression of self? Affirming its existence. And bring the spine up. We'll bring the hands down, tucking the toes, lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Now feel out where you want those feet to be. Are they even? Do you know what even is for you? Are you so precise and have such a penchant for precision that you need to allow for a space of unevenness? Maybe that for some of us is our equilibrium, to paint outside of the lines and sit in that discomfort, that sting of that onion. Breathe in, tilt the tailbone up, exhale. We're going to look forward and travel the feet up. You can bring a knee down before stepping up. So feel out how you can move with your greatest ease. Breathe in and lift the spine up. Maybe your eyes are closed. Where are you? Exhale, let the upper body hinge. Breath in as we reach and expand and lift off. Lift off, lift up. Lift off and lift up and just exist as an energy of lifting. How do we feel? How do we embody an energy of lifting? Are we still doing it? Exhale, bringing the upper body forward. Feel the body talk to us about sinking energy, heavy energy. Let's bring it back up. Breathe in, feel your whole body expressing lifting energy. Are you feeling lifting in your face? Are you feeling lifting in the belly? Are you feeling lifting in your lungs, in your throat, in the backs of your calves? And forward fold. Let's invite and feel heavy. Sinking, trust. Breathe in, half flat back. Palms down, stepping to plank. Lower down to elbow height. Back up to plank. Downward facing dog. Or you could have skipped all of that, made your own sequence. Check your jaw, occupy your whole body. This is the time. Be in your physical body. Be a jaw right now. Be the insides of your cheeks. Be the flesh inside of your ear canals. Be the flesh in between the bones of your ankles. Right leg lifts, point the toe, open the hip, maybe. Everything is optional. Where is the weight in your left shoulder, right shoulder? Are you dumping? Are you squishing on something? What helps you make stuff solid? Could you squeeze something and let it go? Bring that leg down and we'll lift the left leg up. We're mapping and feeling and getting to know. I can't tell you how to feel in your body. You have to do that work. You have to do that inquiry. And bring the left leg down. You also get to decide what you like, what you don't like. Let's look forward and travel the feet up. Look at the feet. Make sure they're even. Spread the toes. Breath in, lift the chest. Be in your toes. Forward fold. As you hang forward, are you still in your toes? What is each toe doing? Breathe in as we rise. How much do they help you press down so you can lift up? Still stay in those toes. And we'll come forward. Be in each toe. What are they doing? Feel them. Bend the knees, sink the butt back, lift the chest chair. Be in those toes. Try to glue them down. I'm trying. I'm getting a cramp in my right foot, middle toe. Good breath. I'm not saying good on the cramp. Forward fold. Let it go. Let's bring the hands to the floor or a block. Maybe you've got a chair or a block or a stool. Lift the left leg straight up toward the ceiling. Drop the top of the head down, standing split. Can you squeeze your upper thigh? Can you let those muscles go? And just build that awareness of, can I just kind of flex that like it was my bicep? Can I flex it and let it go? Do a little Popeye action on that right thigh. For no other reason other than to experience and learn and grow and connect. Now I'm going to bend my right knee and reach back toward the back of the mat with that left foot, spinning it flat, bringing ourselves up for warrior two. Hips nice and open. I'm going to wiggle this out a little bit wider. Pressing that right thigh open just a little. Now my hips, see how my hips are a little cocked here? I'm going to see, just for equilibrium, maybe knock myself over here. Equilibrium. So sink down, hips right, here. Ooh. Chest up, arms soft. Can I feel lifting energy? Where? Can I feel lifting in the back of my neck? Can I believe that I'm growing taller here? What would I have to exert to feel that? How does it feel to sustain this? What's changing in this onion? What's the quality of my breath? Can I soften and permit? Soften and permit. Scoop the tailbone under a little. Feel the pelvic bowl in its range of movement because it moves here. Can it move? Can we lift off of that? Or do we sag everything into it? And we'll bring the hands down, step to plank. Lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Could we soften the shoulder sockets? Could we let the head that's hanging actually hang? Could we do that more? Is there a sweetness in here? Can we trust that it's actually there? Good, and we'll look forward and we'll travel the feet up in between the hands. Half flat back. Forward fold. Feel those toes, feel those toes, feel those toes. And we'll bring ourselves up. Breathe in, feel the toes, each toe. Maybe put an attention on one. Bend the knees, sink the butt back, lift the chest, chair. Feel your spine holding you today. Right now, feel your skin keeping your guts in today. Feel your organs, your liver, your tummy, your intestines, doing what they're doing today. No day off. No day off for any of these organs. Give them the gift of your attention. Breath in. And forward fold, release, check in, feel those toes, those feet, those ankles. Give the body parts that need a little time off the time off. Could you soften and tell them they don't need to hold on so much? When you're ready, standing split, gonna lift that right leg up, point the toe, open the hip. Maybe you're holding on, maybe not. Squeezing that left upper thigh and letting it go. Squeezing and letting it go. Practice letting go. You could just be here, right here, and practice letting go. You're not squeezing a darn thing, and just observe what happens. This is my body and my frame and my mind when I try to let go. Holy crap, that's so hard. Bend the left leg. Reach to the back of the mat. Land soft, back foot flat. And we'll bring ourselves up for warrior two. I'm going to keep my back to you on this side. And we can just feel out our hips on this side. Feel out the legs. Say hello. What are they wanting to say? This body that doesn't get any time off, it has to hold our spirit until our spirit chooses to leave our body. So let's conduct energy. Feel the body. So can you lift up and can you experience down? Can we just feel the down? Can we feel the up? Can we trust that there is an up to feel? You embody that. That up could just be on the sides of your mouth for a smile. Do you believe it, or do you only believe in the down? Do you only believe in the things that give us that intensity, that we feel like we're enduring? Do we believe that there's a brightness somewhere inside of us? Don't just take in the outside world and that our insides get affected by the outside. We're conjuring and learning what's inside of us, and we can share that from the inside to the outside. There is some bright inside. There is some light inside. And we can wear it, and we can feel it, and we can share it. And we'll bring the hands down, stepping to plank. Gotta move mine. Block out of the way. Lower down to our bellies. Breath in, cobra. What can soften? What can soften? And downward facing dog. Looking forward. Step it up, walk it up, maybe jump it up. Half flat back. Forward fold. Bending the knees, sinking the butt back, lifting the chest. Chair. We're going to get a block as an option. You can reach forward and you can take your right hand across to the left to a block and just twist from here. But some of you may be able to bring the elbow outside of the knee for a twisting prayer. So make your choice. Shoulders soft. Don't scrunch them up. Space. Believe that there's space inside of us even when we feel compressed. And reach. And switch. So maybe take your block on over to the other side. You can keep that hand on that. Maybe your elbow comes outside of the knee. And twist. What's moving? What wants to move? Do we believe that something can move? Or has our nut and bolt kind of locked? Can we grow when we're twisting? Do we believe? And release. Now you can do that sequence a few times. Forward fold. When you're developing your home practice, it's not about following along with what someone else has to give us. We eventually have to start to move and explore on our own. Now let's root and rise. Hands coming to prayer. Feel your heart beating. What has changed? What's your relationship to your physical body? What's your relationship in your breath? What's the relationship in your mental space? Do you feel like you're in charge? Is that what you're here for? Are you here to absorb and feel and give your existence of experience the gift of your attention? I'm just experiencing my heart beating this way in this moment. I'm going to root into my right leg. I'm going to switch here. This is my right, so I'm not mirroring for you all. I'm going to bend my left leg. Now, if you'd like, go ahead and be in front of a wall so that you can have a support. Bend my left leg. Find this foot, ankle, pant leg. Maybe you've got a strap to hold on to that ankle and you could use that with your hand. Inner thighs together. Trying not to have that knee come back and out. Inner thighs together. What's the relationship the foot and the ankle are having with the earth? Can we feel that energetic up? Is it too soon to start to feel the energetic up? Because if the root isn't solid, we can't lift off. Who are we? Are we wholly identifying with our physical body right now? Are we identifying with achievement or failure? Can we just feel sensation? I'm feeling my groin getting a little tired. Some butt cheek getting a little tired. Here's a little bit of lift. And I'm okay with feeling a degree of tired. That's a different kind of sting or flavor in my onion. And I just thought, yeah, that's tired. But it doesn't mean it's done. Tired doesn't mean done. It's just, this is fatigue that's growing. My right calf just felt a little fatigue. But then my calf said, hey, I'm a little fatigued. And my thigh said, I could do some more. And release that down. Find the mountain. And just feel everything. Releasing. Don't try to fix it. Don't try to make it go away faster. We're just exploring and feeling. It is what it is. And we're feeling some of that flavor disappear. But we're feeling the stages of it. It isn't all the way gone. And it isn't as intense as it had been. I'm going to switch. I'm going to feel how I got there. So I brought that knee up to the chest first. And that let me go find a hold. Maybe on this side you need more support. Are we being forgiving of the areas that feel limited? As in don't want to move, are super tight, don't want to go in a certain way? Or are we yanking and pulling and making demands? And just learn from that. I do this thing. Try not to even quickly go, oh shoot, I'm screwing up my yoga. No, you're taking your bite. This is your bite, your onion, your apple. Maybe you spit it right out. Oh. What's the quality of our breath? What could we savor right now? What could we learn? What could we change and transform? I'm going to release that. I'm just going to let that all dissipate right there in that left calf. Shin. The shin was starting to get that shin splint feeling. Now it's letting go. And as that let go down at the calf, this started to let go. And I'm just feeling like this little tingly release up here. Sometimes, there's merit in shaking stuff out, but there's also just merit in just feeling dissipation and feeling the states of that dissipation, not the instant, like it's gone. No. What are those gradual, incremental spaces? Our yoga letting us bring that gift of attention into each of those spaces and learning the nuance, the layers. So as we speak, if I stay with our onion analogy. Alrighty, I'm going to bring ourselves down. There's not going to be a flow into this. We're going to come down into pigeon. So let's start actually. Let's go ahead and go into the full. So I've got my right leg bent. My left leg is extended back behind me with the left kneecap facing the floor. Now this right heel can be super duper close to the groin. That's up to you. Or you could be coming out toward the shape of a 7. I'm not going to say it should be anywhere. You hold yourself to where you want to be. How does your spirit want to occupy your skin? How does your skin want to occupy the desires of your spirit? And can we respect the limitations of this physical body, this finite body? And we'll sit upright and feel upward energy. Don't even think about I'm stretching this muscle or that muscle. Just upward energy. And I'm experiencing up right now, or the limitations of up, down here. Oh, but I'm feeling a lot of ease of up in the chest. It feels pretty liberated, pretty at ease, no pressure. I'm experiencing breath here, way down into the low abdomen. Now sitting upright, I'm going to see if this body, this physical frame, would like to revolve from the lowest part of the spine. The chest is just going to follow. The neck is superfluous. Now I can't twist and tighten my core muscles at the same time. It's kind of like we can't twist a brick. So I've got to soften the core. And then I can twist the soft slurry or the soft concrete, the soft porridge of it all. Do we even know when we're tightening like a brick? Do we have the ability to untighten? Is the limitation purely in our minds or actually in the physical body? And as we probe that, when we do discover that there is a true limitation, can we accept it? But we probe what's possible, what we're capable of, and what are the true limitations. And then over time we go, oh, but that just changed over time. Yeah, I just moved, just a little bit more. And release, I'm going to bring it forward. lengthening the belly up and over, and then softening and surrendering. How am I experiencing that and embodying that? Can I surrender in my toes, in my fingers, my wrists, my jaw? Where is your mind right now? What are you just experiencing and observing? If you're fixing something, let it go. If you're judging something, let it go. If you're butting up against the edge of a possibility into a true limitation or a suffering, change it. So that you can stay in a space of ease in your breath and your mind and your body. And the three of them work together for that ease. A partnership, a linking together of arms. If you soften your neck, does that help your hips? If you soften your toes, would that help your spine? If you unclench your jaw, would that let your mind let go of something? Let go of trying to problem solve something? And let's bring ourselves up, and let's just switch. We're going to bring the left leg out in front of us and transition the right leg back. And feel this side, respect this side. Get to know how this side likes to be treated. I think sometimes, and I've been guilty of this, in approaches to teaching balance and equilibrium, doesn't mean even Steven from side to side. And this collaboration that we're creating, this yoking together of mind and breath and body, is collaborative and respectful. So when I come into it, I get to do this check-in and this inquiry on this side. How are you right here today? And I truly listen to what it has, and not ready with a but, not equipped with some, big rebuff. And so my spine doesn't want to lift that high on this side. And it's okay, I'm still lifting. This is what lifting feels like here. This is what patience feels like here. This is what kindness feels like here. Now I'm going to experience a little bit of twisting here. Actually my spine twists a little bit more freely on this side. And that's just its expression of itself. Looking at ourselves as, hey, this is my left side talking to me today. Left side of my hip, left side of my ribs. This is what the left side of my armpit wants today. This is how the left side of my thigh wants to be acknowledged today. Left side of my lungs, expression of my breath. Does any of that sound odd? Does any of that sound a little ridiculous? Maybe a little too woo-woo. But if we gave it a shot and just said, okay, left leg, how do you want to feel right here? What do you want to give me? What would you learn about what it tells you about how that side has been carrying us in our day-to-day, in life, carrying us on a sports field? How that left side, is it the lead side? Is it the side we always twist an ankle on? What is the story it's trying to tell us? We get to learn so much, come out of that twist when you're ready, and then lengthen forward. And as I'm coming forward already, that intensity in the upper part of that hip, upper part of that left thigh bone, And I had to unclench. My mind just said, let go of tightening. Let that fist go inside of that left butt cheek. And it did. And I feel that dissipation. And I'm not wishing the dissipation to change to a different texture. It's just like, okay, that's as much as it's doing it. This feeling is decreasing and this other feeling is increasing. And I'm letting my shoulders soften. And I'm just feeling surrender and permission. I'm not going to talk about what magical properties pigeon has and all the stuff that we say about how it's like the can opener of all of our feelings. You get to explore what you're feeling right here. I don't want to impose any of my thoughts. You're experiencing what you're experiencing. Maybe there are no words for it, but you're categorizing it anyway. Feeling certain zones on certain sections of the bone. Certain zones inside of the socket. Certain zones near the tailbone. Near the sacrum, near the low spine, in the groin. What are we experiencing in between the eyebrows? And let's gradually bring ourselves up. I'm just going to swing this right leg out in front. Maybe shake that out, maybe not. Maybe you just want to let the dissipation happen, all right? I'm doing a little shake. Legs together. I'm going to go into Matsyasana, or a fish pose. I'm going to bring my hands back and lay the forearms down, okay? So I have weight on the elbows, but let's see if we can deliberately place some energy into the forearms and the palms. Feel your palms pressing down. So if you had to stand in your hands, like your hands were trying to take some pressure off of your butt, use them. And then see if the belly wants to lift up toward the ceiling and the chest cavity, the upper chest cavity, arcing up to the ceiling. What muscles do you have to use to broaden the space in the front of the chest? And how much space is there? Are the muscles so tight, do you feel like you've run into bone limitation? You can keep the gaze up and just feel the chest thrusting open. It may take some sustained time before you start to notice different muscles. Maybe in between the shoulders, maybe you're more aware of the back muscles here. If you tilt the tailbone back, can you feel your pelvis and your belly arching? Can you let the tummy breathe? And then go ahead and tuck the chin down around the spine. And let's do it again if you like. If your back is tired, just go ahead and lay down. I'm going to tilt the chest up, lift the gaze up. Now I'm going to walk my elbows forward and let my top of my head come down. Now that may not be for all of you. You might want to just stay on the forearms. I'm still pressing down through the palms, arching the chest up. Top of my head is now a part of the support. Listen to your neck. Are you dumping weight, or can you feel the lift? The dumping of the weight is surely going to start to tell you. The body is going to say, I cannot sustain this. But if you lift up and off of it, your body might be like, oh, that's cool. Because I'm not dumping on my neck. I'm lifting. Can I believe in the lift? And even if everything is confused in the body and the body's like, I don't know how to do that. It's okay, we're learning. And if you're in it, go ahead and lift the head, tuck the chin down, lower the spine down. Just let it dissipate. Dissipate out of the wrists. Let it go limp. Dissipate out of the forearms, the elbows, upper arms, backs of the arms, tops of the shoulders. Can you feel the neck releasing? Turn the head left and right. We'll bring the hands behind the head and tilt the chin up toward the chest and let the hands kind of guide as a counter here. Just do a little bit of a counter here. Can you let the back of the head just sink back and down toward the mat and let the arms just gently guide and stretch the neck. Unclench your back muscles. Unclench your buttocks. Unclench your neck. And we'll lower the head down. Good. We'll walk the feet in. Bring the knees together, feet out wide. And we'll practice a few pelvic tilts. Okay, so we'll just do scooping the tailbone under, feeling the low back pressing into the floor. Bring your mind into each vertebra. Can you feel individual vertebrae pressing into the mat? Can you put your mind on one vertebra and just say, I want to feel as much of that vertebrae as I can pressing into the mat? What happens to your inner thighs when you put that much attention to that one segment of your spine? What happens to your feet? I'm not saying to change anything. Just observe. What happens to your breath as you try to put that much concentration into your physical body? Now, is that concentration becoming a demand, a force? Or is it just kind of saying, hey, what do you want to do? What can we do? What can I feel? Can you feel your core? Maybe bring your hands to your belly as you're pressing that section of the low spine into the floor. Do you notice, hey, these muscles, they're doing something. Breath. And let's relax the low back. Feel those inner thighs. And we'll let the knees just flop side to side. Experiencing lack of control. That's all we're going to practice here, is not controlling it. Let it be as floppity as we can. Carefree. What's changing? Even in the mind, is it just nice? Is nice okay? Are we permitted to be contented with nice? What does that do to soothe your heart, your spirit, to be contented with nice? Do we know how to be? Or do we always have to strive for more? Does today's practice have to be better and more intense, more profound than yesterday? And then we'll come on back to center. Unless you want to keep going. I feel like I had a little bit of TikTok. My legs just were like, oh, I want to stay with that. Good. I'm going to straighten. Actually, bring the feet in a little closer. Straighten the right leg up to the ceiling. Hands behind the hamstring or the calf. Depends on where you want to hold on. And keep the leg as straight as we can. Flex the toes toward your face, driving that heel up. Feel the back of your calf stretching. Can you feel the attachment at the back of your knee to the back of your Achilles tendon? Feel that pulling the flesh at the back of your knee through the calf up toward the ceiling as you pull the leg towards you. And breathe. Do you feel that edge changing at all? Can you press your low back to the floor as you do it? What are we experiencing? Feel this body that's been carrying our spirit. Is there a little space we're creating down here for our spirit? Our spirit to get to know the body right here. Is this section of the body worth getting to know? Not to improve, not to fix, not to improve its performance, just to kind of say, hey, how you doing? What are you able to do? What do you like to do? And we'll release and bring that down. And we'll switch. Holding on behind the leg, finding where you want to. Flex the toes towards your face. Whoa! Driving that left heel up. And everything on the back of that leg so said slow down. And so I was like, oh, you're right. Right? I took my right side mentality to my left side. And my left side said, you back up. Because we're a whole different onion over here, right? And that's a great perspective for me to go, oh, my left side bites its onion or has a whole different flavor of onion on my left side. My left side is like spicy yellow onion. All right. Flex the toes. Drive that heel up. Ooh. Press the low back into the floor. Oh, and I feel that now in the back of my hamstring more than the calf. Now they're kind of equal. My calf was like, hey, wait a minute, don't ignore me. Ooh, make some sounds. We don't need words to describe what we're feeling, but just start to categorize, map, get to know, respect, learn its language. Learn that sensory language of your body. And release. We'll bring those feet down, separate them a few inches apart, knees a few inches apart, getting ready for a bridge. Don't turn your head, pushing down through the feet. What sections of the feet are you connected with? Are we rooting into? What are we aware of as we press down and lift the hips? Securing that foundation, respecting this body as it's been carrying us, thanking it, and then letting the body talk to us in the hips, the belly, the chest, the strength of the legs. Practicing accepting limitation, practicing testing limitations. And lowering the hips down, we'll bring the bottoms of the feet together, knees falling open. If you're comfortable doing so, many of you have been joining us for a while now. I want us all to honor and respect any traumas in this body, any hard stops that come up that go, nope, I don't like my body to look that way, to be shaped that way. You owe no one any explanation. This is yours. Your spirit occupying the shape of your body and letting the energy come out in this shape, this expression. You get to discover, what is this expression? How is this making me feel? My job is not to tell you how anything should feel. I take it that my job is to help guide you through learning how to access, observing how it feels. What you discover along the way, that's yours. I got enough of my own garbage that I'm discovering. What's enough about where we are right now? What's already stirring inside of you that wants to change something? And if you must, go ahead and do it and feel yourself satisfying an urge. Eventually, we might look at it and say, was that an urge? Was it a need? Was it a want? And then let go of judging it and just accepting that's what it was, that I just did a thing. That was my experience, and I'm going to let it go. I'm going to bring the feet back down, knees up. Bringing the knees into the chest, maybe forehead to the knees, feeling the entire spine. Legs up to the ceiling, holding here for an inversion. Now our down dogs are an inversion. When we're standing and bending forward, that is an inversion. But here's one of the most relaxed, kind of static inversions, because our whole torso, the back, is resting against the floor. It doesn't have to do much. So then ask, what's the least amount of energy any of the muscles in your legs need to keep the legs suspended there? They don't have to be rigid. You're choosing how much work you're doing. Now you can stay here and enjoy all of this, observing your breath, observing your mind, observing your body. But if it's in your practice and you want to explore, or maybe you've only done it a few times in your practice and you want to explore, do not, if this would be your first time coming into a shoulder stand, do not do that in this unsupervised environment. So if you've done it before, if it's a part of your practice and you want to explore it, we're going to use the arms to lift the hips, hands coming to the low back, traveling the hands supportively up the back toward the floor, climbing up toward the mid-back, upper back. The weight should be on the backs of the shoulder blades, not on your head, not on your neck. You can let the legs relax. You can use the up, feeling upward energy, up through the feet. What's the most relaxed breath we can have? Where is our mind? Inquire. Who are you? How are you? Right here. Do we feel unencumbered? Do we feel like we're straining? And I'm just going to bend the knees a little, relax my arms down, and start to lower the spine down. If plow is in your practice, by all means, feel free to do so. I don't teach plow. I don't believe in it. I feel as though some of the price we can pay in our neck is not worth it. All right, so I don't encourage it. But at the same time, if it's a part of your practice, I'm not going to deny it either. Let's breathe, maybe rock. Do whatever final postures that you're wishing. That's just organically your expression of your body, mind, breath connection. I'm not even going to make suggestions of what they may be because I want them to be that organic. And then we'll present the body. For your Shavasana, I'm going to put a pillow under my knees for Shavas, allowing the hips and the legs to have a space of resting that's a little less stressful, helping me tap into the letting go aspect, adjust the hips and the shoulders, eyes open, jaw relaxed. You can have your eyes closed if you wish, but deliberately practicing eyes open helps us build awareness of what's outside of us and what's inside of us at the same time. Observing how we take in the outside world, how we get distracted by it. And we can observe our own inner peace, how the body is feeling after practicing, what got stimulated, what's glowing and emanating out of us. Can we draw that inside stuff that we have cooked up and connected with into our perspective, into the outside world, and we don't have to be so distracted by the outside because we know what's true on our inside. Build that connection with your inside. Identify more with what's inside, what's true in this moment. Distinguishing what's the truth. What's the truth about what's outside of us and how it affects our insides? And when we notice some falsehoods, can we just look at that with amusement and let that go as well? And come back to a solid foundation of the ease and the steadiness of our true inner selves, our true breath, the ease and the steadiness within our bodies. However you wish to explore coming out of your Shavasana space, go ahead. Try not to be in a hurry. I kind of spun out of that a little quickly myself. especially when you're finding your home practice. Sometimes it's hard to do so in studio environments. Try to make space for silence and stillness before practice, before you start moving on your mat, and making deliberate space for stillness and silence before you emerge from your mat. Because it's in that space that we get to observe the spaces between our thoughts, the spaces between our perceptions and our feelings. It's in those spaces that we get to connect with what's true. A single Om if you wish to join, and feel the spaces in between the vibration in our Om. Deep breath if you wish to join. All that is love and light in me is deeply grateful for and appreciative of the love and light in you. Namaste. I see you and I appreciate you. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga. This has been our home yoga practice live. May you bite into your onion as though it were an apple. I think that my eyes have seen, I think that that's Claudia. Good morning to all who have joined us. Missed you all. I hope that you've still been doing your practice. Feel free. I'll stick around for a little bit if anyone wants to say hello, or if there's any questions that you have about practice, about anything that I shared. Good morning. I had to get some smudges off of these glasses. I'm wearing a different pair this morning. Good morning, Teresa. Thank you. Thank you so much. Please, please, please know that, my philosophy of what I'm wishing to share, because there's all kinds of varieties of yoga that you can be indulging in this online virtual world, but that my approach is to help you, guide you through learning how to connect to your yoga as you. So if you're looking for breakdowns of certain postures and how and what, that's not my jam. But if you're wanting to connect with how do I feel about certain things, how do I notice how I change things, my own patterns, what's my relationship to the outside world and my inside world, maybe this is the jam. Yay, Kara, thank you so much for such a lovely share. I really deeply appreciate that. When the body gets to send us those waves and we get to receive that as gratitude and thankfulness, what a wonderful conversation that is between spirit and body. Lovely. And Claudia, thank you on the onion and the apple. I still have not bitten into an onion. I thought that I was going to do it at the end of that keynote that I did. I thought it was a little kitschy, a little gimmicky, to bring out an onion and say, okay, for the first time in my life, I'm going to do this thing that my grandmother did. But nope, not my jam. Still haven't gotten up the bravery to do that. But I'm glad that she did, and I'm glad that she taught it to me. Elizabeth, thank you so much for coming and stepping in. If in any way, anything that I've ever had to share in this environment has helped any of you on your path, I'm deeply honored to be able to be a part of that path. Please, it is the jam. Awesome. All right, people. I love your spirit today. Keep it up. Go and share it. The purpose of us doing this connection, let's not hoard it. Let's give it away. All right. Peace. Take care. Namaste. Maybe I'll check you guys out tomorrow. Basics, 10 a.m. Power, 11:30.